Hello students, today we are going to start with the new chapter that is called as C++. In 11th standard we already studied the basic of C++, that is different types of data types, different types of operators, call by value, call by reference, pointers, arrays. All these things we already studied in 11th. Now we are going to focus on OOPS concepts of C++. How this OOPS helps us writing the program in C++, what are the classes, what are the objects. Let's see each one by one. Now we all are aware with the word what is programming. Programming is nothing but a step-by-step procedure which has been done for doing a particular task, that is called as programming. Now, what is object-oriented programming language? What is object-oriented programming language? If any programming language which contains the features of OOPS, that language is called as OOPS. That is, if any kind of a language which has a support of OOPS features, then that kind of a programming language is called as object oriented programming language. Now before going to start with the OOPS concept, let's see the programming techniques which was used before the OOPS developed. There are a few different techniques which has been used for different types of programming. Let's see each one by one. The first is programming or the monolithic programming technique. In this kind of a technique, which is also called as unstructured modular technique, in this kind of a technique, here a simple program has to be executed as in different commands or the sequence of a statement. So here such kind of a program where a small programs are there, in such type we can use this monolithic approach or the unstructured programming. Why? Because we can use a go to statement. Now if we use a main program as in sequence or the statement or the command of a statement, then it can work with only a go to. That is, there is no broken block of this programming. So here we can conclude that only it works with a smaller and simple program. It does not work with a larger program. The second kind of a programming technique is procedural approach. This procedural approach, as the name indicates, here the program is divided into a function that performs a specific task, that is called as procedural approaches. Next is structured programming approaches. Structured programming approaches is also called as modular programming approaches. Here in this, a program is divided into small functions and the modules. They are called as structural programming approach, which is modified by call to procedures of this module. This modular programming, it does not have any subset with a unstructured programming, but yes, it has a subset with an modular programming structure. So from here we can see that all of the three programs had certain drawbacks. So the fourth technique, that was nothing but the OOPS, that is object oriented programming approach. It has come into existence to remove the drawback of a conventional approaches, that whatever the drawbacks was there in this above three techniques, that has been solved by this OOPS features, like data hidden, then encapsulation, then inheritance, constructor, all these things that has been which was not supported by above these techniques, that has been solved by this OOPS, that is for example C++ and Java. Whereas you can see that monolithic approach has an example like assembly and basic. Procedural approach consists of example like Fortran, COBOL. Then structured programming, it has an example like C and Pascal. All these kind of languages which were used before the C++ and Java. As we know that C++ is an extension version of an C. Let's see the differentiate between OOPS and procedural approach, which is asked in the exam for the 3 marks. Now you can see here I have given the two differences, that is the first difference is object oriented programming and the second is procedural approach. Let's see each point one by one. In OOPS it is supported by object oriented, whereas in procedural it is supported as structured oriented. Here the program is divided into objects, here the program is divided into different functions. It is in one kind of a bottom approach, it is in top down approach. Inheritance is used in OOPS concept, whereas inheritance does not use in procedural approach. It uses access specifier, that it shows the visibility of which the data members and the member functions can be accessed. Here it does not show any kind of access specifier, there is no such concepts of scope resolution operator. Encapsulation is used to hide the data. Yes, it is one of the most important feature in OOPS, which is very used. Second is, here there is no concept of data hiding in procedural approach. And the last is nothing but there is a concept of virtual function, whereas here there is no concept of virtual functions. Example like C++, Java. Here example like C, Pascal, COBOL. These are some of the examples of procedural approach. So it is asking the exam for 3 marks. Now we'll see the OOPS features. What are the different OOPS features, or what are the features of OOPS concept? It is asking the exam for 3 marks. Now it is also asked for defining purpose, like define abstractions, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, data hiding, etc. So let's see what are the different types of OOPS features. The first is abstraction, second is encapsulation, third is polymorphism, fourth is inheritance, and fifth is data hiding. So these are the different 5 features of OOPS. Let's see each feature one by one. The first is abstraction. Now what do you mean by abstraction? It is one kind of a process for hiding the background details and showing the necessary details. Means background में क्या चल रहा है वो हमको नहीं दिखाना, it is hidden. जो necessary है सिर्फ वही दिखाना है. That is nothing but the abstraction. It provides only essential information about the data to the outside world, whereas जो necessary है outside world को दिखाने के लिए सिर्फ वही दिखाया जाता है, and the background details are hidden. That is, the actual implementation is hidden. For example, like if I talk about the car is a good example of abstraction. Why? Because here the person is most concerned about the car drive. It does not concern about the how the car engine works. It is mostly concerned with the how to drive the car. So that is nothing but one kind of example of abstraction. Now the second is nothing but encapsulation. Now what do you mean by encapsulation? It is a second one of the most important feature of encapsulation. Basically is nothing but the data hidden concept. Now it is a process of wrapping up of a data and functions into a single unit, that is called as encapsulation. That is, it binds together the data and the functions which manipulate the data and keeps them from both safe from the outside the interference and to misuse of that program. That is nothing but the encapsulation. In simple term, we can say that the data hidden concept, it helps in data hidden, that is called as encapsulation. That is, it is used to prevent the access to the data directly. The access to them can be provided through functions of the class. So that is nothing but the encapsulation. The third feature of the OOPS is polymorphism. Now the word polymorphism means having many forms. Polymorphism means having a many forms. In simple word, we can also say that it has an ability to define a polymorphism. It has an ability of a message to be displayed in more than one form. That is called as a polymorphism. Means having many forms, that is called as polymorphism. For example, like a person or a man at the same time can be a father, can be a husband, or can be an employee. Like, so that is nothing but the polymorphism. है तो क्या एक man ही, but he has a different characteristic while playing a different role. जैसे कि अगर वो ऑफिस में he works as an employee, at home he works as an husband, with the children he works as a father. So that is nothing but the polymorphism. It provides some more flexibility in the designing. Same thing can be implemented but in slightly different manner. Same thing but in different manner that can be implemented. That is called as polymorphism. The fourth feature is nothing but the inheritance. Now what do you mean by inheritance? That is, if you remember that the reusability of a code or saving of a code, it is not available in the basics of basic of C++, what we are studied in the 11th standard. So here we can see that here we reuse the code, that is a saving code, and extending that using of a code by classes. So let's see what is inheritance. It is nothing but it allows to create a new class from an existing class. That is, it has an ability to provide a child class from a parent class, which is also called as base class, and the child class is also called as derived class. So in simple term, I can say that it provides you a software reusability code, saving and extending use of existing classes. For example, like as I right now explained that a child inherits the properties of their parents. Now if I talk about in programming in terms of inheritance, now parent का property child में inherit होता है. Then why will I write the program for the child also? I'll write the program for parent. Why? Because already the properties of a parents, they are already inherited in children, so I can just reuse of that code. That is nothing but the inheritance. The fifth feature is data hiding. Data hiding is nothing but it is an object oriented programming technique of hiding internal object details, that is their data members. That is called as data hiding. Data hiding मतलब क्या? Data hiding is the one of all the details of an object that do not contribute to its essential characters. That is nothing but the data hiding. मतलब उनको हम छुपा के रखेंगे. That is called as data hiding. Now we have studied about the OOPS features. Let's see what are the classes and objects. Now if you remember, in 11th standard we have done the program without classes and objects. That is a simple program in which we were writing the program. We have studied different types of data types. You can recollect that. The first is derived, for the first is inbuilt data type. Second is derived data type, that is functions in the array. Inbuilt data types are characters, floats, int. These are nothing but the inbuilt data types. And user defined data type, which we have not studied in 11th standard. So here the user defined data type plays and role in classes and object, that is in OOPS. Let's see. Here you can see that the classes and object, these are the two main aspects of object oriented programming language. You can see that class is nothing but a user defined data type variable. Class is an user defined data type variable. For example, let's see here class and objects. Here class is an fruit. For example, class is an fruit, and fruit if it is in class, then objects कौन से है? Apple, banana, mango. Now when I want to write a program for this, now you can see that apple का खुद का properties है, खुद का method से. Like if I talk about the apple का तो color test, उसका color red में होता है. Test if I talk, it's in sour. Second, banana, it has an yellow color somewhat with green color. Third is mango, again mango, it is in sweet and sour taste with a yellow color. So when I talk about the writing in programming, then apple, banana, mango, etc. these objects comes under a what? Comes under a class. उसका क्लास का नाम क्या है? फ्रूट. मतलब ये तीनों चीज़ कहाँ पे आती है? फ्रूट के अंदर आती है, राइट? तो इसके फीचर्स किसको सपोर्ट करते हैं? फ्रूट्स को. मतलब वॉट एवर द प्रॉपर्टीज एंड मेथड्स हर एक ऑब्जेक्ट्स के अलग अलग है, लेकिन वो किसको बिलोंग करते हैं? ये क्लास फ्रूट्स को बिलोंग करते हैं. Let's take another example, car. One of the class is car. Now what are the objects? If I talk about the objects like BMW, Audi, Toyota, Volvo, these are nothing but the objects. Now again इसके खुद के features होते हैं, properties है, methods है, attributes है, right? So again this properties and methods of each objects relate with the class. So that is nothing but the classes and objects. Let's see with an example and syntax. Now what is class? क्लास इज़ अ यूज़र डिफाइंड डेटा टाइप विच इज़ डिफाइंड बाय द यूज़र. यहाँ पे क्लास अगर सिंपल टर्म में बोला जाए तो इट इज़ एन वन काइंड ऑफ अ वेरिएबल फॉलोड बाय कीवर्ड क्लास. इट इज़ फॉलोड. सो class is a user defined data type which is defined by the user. So class is one kind of a variable which is followed by keyword class. An object is created from class. In previous example, if you remember, I have told you about the objects. Like object was apple, mango, banana. These are the objects of whom? Of class fruit, right? So object is being created from the word class. So a class is a template for objects and an object is an instance of a class. Instance मतलब क्या? The items of that class is called as an instance. The items created by using the class, they are called as instance. So for example, previous example को if I consider, you can see that the instance of a class, object कौन से थे? Apple, mango, banana. These were the object, right? Who is an instance of a class? Class का नाम क्या था? Fruit. So that items created by using the class, they are called as instance. They are called as instance. Now let's see, it is asked in the exam what is class and what are the class declaration or what are the syntax of an class. So you have to define what is class and declaration of the class, which includes 3 marks. Let's see how it is defined or how it is declared. Class, class name. It is nothing but class is a user defined data type variable. class का नाम मतलब variable. क्लास का नाम वेरिएबल फॉलोड बाय कीवर्ड क्लास. क्लास begins with the curly braces, then access specifier with a colon, then the data and function, then again access specifier and the data and function, access specifier, data and function. क्लास यहाँ पे begin की है, class close करो by the curly braces and then ends with a semicolon. This ends with a semicolon indicated that the class has been closed. The class has been closed. So this entire is nothing but the declaration of a class. That is a syntax of a class. If you remember in 11th standard we have studied a syntax of our C++ कि main program का syntax कैसे लिखा जाता है. Similarly here how the class is declared, it is shown that. So class कैसे declare करोगे? Class keyword followed by class name, curly braces open, different access specifier, the data and functions, then curly braces close and then semicolon. This access specifier which tells about the visibility of data members and the functions of whom, of class. So this is nothing but the class declaration. So in exam if it is asked what is class, you have to define what is class. Class is a user defined data type variable and the class declaration you have to write this thing. So it will be 3 marks. Now let's see C++ class is an object. Let's see. So here data is called as a data member and function is called as a member function. Means what? For example, if I take say class keyword and ABC, class keyword and ABC, then I have opened a curly braces and then I have given access specifier private colon and I have written int a. So here a is my data whose data type is integer, but a is my data of whom, of class ABC. So that is called as data member and the function is called as member function. जो भी डेटा आपने यूज़ किया है उसको कॉल करना हो तो हम लोग उसके लिए मेंबर फंक्शन यूज़ करते हैं. तो डेटा मेंबर एंड द मेंबर फंक्शन दे आर नथिंग बट द डेटा. सो क्लास इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ डेटा एंड अ फंक्शन. A class definition begins with a keyword called as class. As I told you, class keyword से हम लोग शुरुआत करते हैं. Class keyword and then we write with a class name. The body of the class is contained with the sets of braces. Curly braces open, then you will write down the body and function, then the curly braces close and ends with a semicolon. If you are not ending with semicolon, that means your class has not end. So you have to end it with the semicolon. Got it? Now, within the body, the keyword has a different access specifier. We already studied in 11th standard, that is private, public and protected. Now, specify the access level of member of the class. Now, the first is nothing but the private access specifier. Now, if you are writing the class program, in that case, you are not specifying any access specifier, then in that case, that access specifier is nothing but the private. So, in short, I can say that default is nothing but the private access specifier, which is only accessible to the authenticated person, no other members. Second is the data member of a class are declared in the private section, the section of private section of a class, and the member functions are public section. जो भी member functions है हमको उसे public section में declare करना है. ठीक है, हम लोग उसको public में लिखते हैं. अगर हम उसको private में लिखेंगे तो हम लोग क्लास के डेटा मेंबर को एक्सेस नहीं कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि अगर हमने उसको ही प्राइवेट बना दिया तो वो खुद का ही डेटा एक्सेस कर सकता है. सो फॉर दैट वी डिक्लेयर द मेंबर फंक्शंस इन पब्लिक सेक्शन ओनली. Second access specifier is nothing but the public, which is open to all of the user. That is, any of the user can access that particular data. Third is protected. Protected access specifier मतलब it is same as private. Only the difference is that कि private में only authenticated members or the member function can access the data. Protected में their friends can also access data. Like a Facebook, friends of friends can also send a request. So data member or a member functions may be public, private or a protected. Got it? Public means data members or the member functions defining inside the class can be used at outside the class, in different class and in a menu. Private means data members and functions cannot be used outside the class. That is, we have to use inside the class. Yes, class we can write in two types, inside the class and outside the class. We'll see in programming part. Protected means data members and the member functions can be used in the same class and its derived class at one level. Yes, जैसे कि मैंने एग्जाम्पल दिया था कि प्रोटेक्टेड इज सेम एज प्राइवेट, लेकिन their friend function can has a access like derived class, so that is nothing but the protected. Here you can see the example class का नाम, then curly braces open, here the private access specifier, that is उसके अंदर के जो data member functions है they are the private members or the method, then public, again public members or the methods, then class close and ends with the semicolon. So here we write like this. Let's see an example of a class, how we are writing the example. Let's have a look of it. First we have written the header file iostream.h, that is input output stream.header file. Second, conio.h, con stands for console input output header file. Then we begin with a class. If you remember in 11 we were using a main, हम लोग class का इस्तेमाल कहीं भी नहीं करते थे. अब यहाँ पे we are using class keyword with a class name ABC. Here you can see that class का नाम है ABC. Now mostly we write the class name in capital letter just to avoid the confusion in a variable. So basically class का नाम ABC है, लेकिन simple term में अगर हम बोलेंगे तो it's a variable. So variable क्या है? ABC. उसका data type क्या है? Class. So class का नाम ABC. Class open किया, then a private access specifier. Now see here it is in private access specifier I have used. This specifier क्या करेगा? It will show the visibility whether it is in private data members or the protected or the public. That's why we mention here the private access specifier, public and protected. So private colon then int data. So data is my one of the variable whose data type is integer and whose access specifier is private. So in simple term if I say that data is my data member of whom, of class का नाम क्या है? ABC. तो मतलब मैं बोल सकती हूँ कि data is my data member of class ABC. Next, now I have defined the data member. तो data मेरा क्या है? Data member है. Next, public. Now I have to define the member function. Public access specifier colon void get data. So void does not return anything. Get data is my member function. Get data is my member function. Member function of whom? Member function of class ABC. Who will access this data member? Let's see. Now public void get data. अब मैंने function open किया curly braces. Then this program consists about that I will enter some value and I will print that value. Means हम लोग कुछ value input करेंगे और उसी value को print करने वाले. So curly brace open किया, then count enter the number. एक statement डाल दिया count enter the number. Then वो number मुझे input करना है, so I'll use a cin and then I inputted the number data because here I have used the variable that is data. So मैंने data को input कर दिया, then count enter a number is data. This is a statement to print and data का value output print करो. ठीक है, here you can see that data print करो. Then ये function close हो गया. मेंबर फंक्शन कौन सा है? फंक्शन. मेंबर फंक्शन मतलब फंक्शन. गेट डेटा मेरा यहाँ पे क्या है? फंक्शन है, लेकिन हम लोग क्लास के साथ करते हैं, इसके लिए हम इसको क्या बोलते हैं? मेंबर फंक्शन, और इसको हम बोलते हैं डेटा मेंबर. सो ये क्लास खत्म हो गया, यहाँ पे क्लास को क्लोज कर दिया, क्लास एंड हो गया. दैट मीन्स क्लास यहाँ पे बिगिन हो गया, क्लास एंड हो गया. अब ये सारी चीज़ें क्लास के अंदर हो गई, लेकिन इसे एग्जीक्यूट कैसे करेंगे? वी हैव टू एग्जीक्यूट इट. तो हमें कहीं ना कहीं मेन तो लगेगा, राइट? तो अब लोगों ने यहाँ पे मेन लिखा, वॉइड मेन. देन दिस मेन इज नथिंग बट द नॉन मेंबर फंक्शन. मेन ओपन किया. नाउ अब यहाँ पे कैसे करेंगे? हियर व्हाट वी आर यूजिंग यूजर डिफाइंड डेटा टाइप वेरिएबल. अब यूजर डिफाइंड डेटा वेरिएबल मतलब क्या? क्लास का नाम. क्लास का नाम क्या था? ABC लिखा मैंने यहाँ पे. देन उसके बाद में आई हैव रिटन अनदर वेरिएबल कॉल्ड एज OBJ. OBJ इज नथिंग बट ऑब्जेक्ट. ऑब्जेक्ट इज वन काइंड ऑफ अ वेरिएबल हु विल एक्सेस द क्लास का डेटा मेंबर. ठीक है, तो OBJ इज अ वन काइंड ऑफ अ वेरिएबल. डायरेक्टली हम लोग एक्सेस नहीं कर सकते. वी हैव टू क्रिएट एन ऑब्जेक्ट. जैसे मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया था, फ्रूट. फ्रूट का ऑब्जेक्ट कौन सा था? एप्पल, बनाना, मैंगो. बट दैट रिलेट टू द क्लास ओनली. डायरेक्टली नहीं एक्सेस कर सकते. सो ABC object. Object is an one kind of a variable who is a variable of a class ABC. ठीक है, अब क्लास के अंदर मैंने डेटा मेंबर क्या लिखा था? डेटा. और मेंबर फंक्शन कौन सा था? गेट डेटा. मतलब मैंने यहाँ पे कितना फंक्शन लिखा है? ओनली वन, इन विच आई हैव इनपुटेड द वैल्यू एंड ऑल्सो आई वॉन्ट टू डिस्प्ले द आउटपुट. दोनों चीज़ें मैंने एक ही फंक्शन में की है. सो अब क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट कौन सा है, ओबीजे, दैट इज वेरिएबल हमने डिफाइन किया. ओबीजे डॉट इज नथिंग बट इट विल अलाउ टू एक्सेस दैट डेटा और द मेंबर एक्सेस दैट पर्टिकुलर डेटा. तो गेट डेटा के अंदर जो चल रहा है वो हम लोग डॉट के थ्रू एक्सेस करेंगे, दैट इज इट विल अलाउ टू एक्सेस द गेट डेटा फंक्शन. ओबीजे डॉट, ओबीजे कौन है, ओबीजे इज एन वेरिएबल और एन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ होम, ऑफ क्लास एबीसी. एबीसी के अंदर क्या है, डेटा. डेटा इज अ डेटा मेंबर और उसके अंदर कौन सा है, मेंबर फंक्शन जो पब्लिक रखा है. उसके अंदर हम लोगों ने क्या किया है, इनपुट किया है और आउटपुट डिस्प्ले करना है. सो ओबीजे डॉट गेट डेटा, इमीजिएटली हमने लिखा as soon as he will print the statement enter a number and then it will ask you to enter a data, that is a value, and it will print a output value, that is nothing but the obj dot get data करेगा. अगर मैं इसे कॉल नहीं करूँ इन सिंपल टर्म, इट विल कॉल द मेंबर फंक्शन. तो जैसे ही मैंने गेट डेटा मेंबर फंक्शन को कॉल किया थ्रू द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ क्लास abc, ये सारी चीज़ें वर्क होगी एंड इट विल गिव यू द डिजायर्ड आउटपुट. गॉट इट? Next is static members. Now what do you mean by static members? So from above, before going to static members, from above program you must have conclude that कि यहाँ पे जो भी चीज़ें हो रही है, that is in this class example, it relates with the class object and the access specifier. अगर मैं member function को public नहीं रखती तो I would have not able to access. So for that I have made it as public and data member को private. Now here if you are not writing anything, that is अगर मैंने private निकाल दिया और मैंने simply int और data लिखा तो मतलब by default मेरा data member वैसे भी private हो जाएगा. And if you are writing any specifier then that means that is a particular data specifier is visible. That is in simple term visibility of an access specifier, ये term हमको बताता है. ठीक है? Now what is static member? So what is static member? Now we can define a class member by using this static keyword. When we declare a member of a class static, it means no matter how many objects of the class are created, that is there is only a one copy of the static member. The data and the functions of the class may be declared as static in the class declaration. The static data members have similar properties to the C static variable. The static data member is initialized with a 0 when the first object of its class is created. No other initialization is permitted. Only one copy of that member is created for the entire class and it is shared by all of the objects of that class, no matter how many objects are created. See, only one copy of that member is created for that entire class and it is shared by all of the objects of that class, no matter how many objects are created. It is visible only within the class, but its lifetime is the entire program. It is asked in the exam what is static member and explain any three characteristic of a static member with the 3 marks, and you are supposed to write all these points. ठीक है? So static member is shared by all object of the class. Got it? That is, for example, redeclaring the static variable by using the scope resolution operator to identify to which class it belongs to. Next is object. An object is an instance of class. As I explained you, instance is nothing but the items of that class. Okay? Object is an instance of a class. Object is a class variable. Yes, I explained you in the program before that obj is in one kind of a variable of whom, of class abc. That's why it is called as object is in class variable. Every object have a state which is represented by the value of its attributes. These states are changed by the functions which is applied to the object. Very true. जैसे कि मैंने बताया, class अगर fruit है और ऑब्जेक्ट्स एप्पल, बनाना, मैंगो, तो उसके एट्रीब्यूट्स और प्रॉपर्टीज़ होते हैं. जैसे मैंने एप्पल का बताया था, उसका प्रॉपर्टी इट इज़ रेड इन कलर. ठीक है? उसका एट्रीब्यूट मे बी सोर इन टेस्ट और स्वीट इन टेस्ट. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज टोल्ड दैट every object have a state which is represented by the value of its attribute, and these states are changed by functions which is applied to the object. It can be uniquely identify its name, that is nothing but this objects. Creating an object of a class. Now we already studied this, how to create an object. I have explained you in an example. Declaring a variable of a class type creates an object. जैसे कि हमने प्रीवियस वाला एग्जाम्पल लिया था, क्लास क्लास का नाम था ABC एंड देन वी हैव यूज द कीवर्ड अ वेरिएबल OBJ. इट कैन बी एनीथिंग. मैंने अगर OBJ लिखा है तो आप A भी लिख सकते हो, B भी लिख सकते हो, ठीक है. सो दैट वेरिएबल इज नथिंग बट द ऑब्जेक्ट. So declaring a variable of a class type creates an object. You can have a many variables of the same type class, also called as instantiation. Once an object of a certain class is instantiated, a new memory location is created for storing its data member. You can instantiate a many objects from a class type. For example, like example circle C. Now C is my object of whom? Of class circle. Okay. Here the memory allocation of object has been shown. You can see here. Now here you can see that class keyword followed by class name is student. क्लास का नाम क्या है यहाँ पे? स्टूडेंट है. क्लास ओपन हो गया. देन int roll number. Now here I didn't specify any specifier. That means it can be understood that it is an private access specifier. So roll number is my data member. उस डेटा टाइप इज इंटीजर बट रोल नंबर डेटा member किसका है? क्लास का. क्लास का नाम क्या है? स्टूडेंट. नेक्स्ट इज कैर नेम. हमने एरे पास किया है, उसमें हमने 20 लिमिटेशन दी है कि हम लोग एटमोस्ट 20 कैरेक्टर्स ले सकते हैं. दैट इज 0 to 19. दैट इज एरे, सिंगल डायमेंशनल एरे. थर्ड इज इंट मार्क्स. मार्क्स इज अगेन इज माई डेटा मेंबर of data type integer of class student. So these all three are my data members of different data types with class name student. Then class को ख़त्म कर दिया and then student, class का नाम क्या था? student. उसका object क्या बनाया? S. So S is my object of whom? of class name student. ठीक है. So I will call the member functions by this object. object of whom? object of class. So how it is allocated memory allocation? देखो roll number को 2 bytes. Why? because it's an integer data type. We have studied in 11th standard. name जो 20 characters है, data type character है, 20 bytes लिया है उसने, 1 byte लेता है. then marks again integer, so 2 byte. so total कितना bytes हो गया? 24. that is 20 bytes for name, 2 bytes for roll number and 2 bytes for marks. so total हो गए 24 bytes of memory allocation for this particular object. object कौन सा है? S. got it? that is nothing but the memory allocation of object. next is array of object. now array of object अगर बोला तो 11 में हमने पढ़ा था what is array, different types of array. array is nothing but the set of multiple values with the same data types, right ना. different data types अगर हम बोलेंगे तो it is an structure, right. so हम लोगों ने 2 types of arrays पढ़े थे, single dimensional array and multi dimensional array, right. so array of object here कैसे होगा? array of a class type variable is known as array of object. we can declare array of object as following way. अब कैसे डिक्लेयर करोगे array को? क्लास का नाम, ऑब्जेक्ट एंड लेंथ. लेंथ इज नथिंग बट द कितना आपको array डिक्लेयर करना है. तो एग्जाम्पल देखो यहाँ पे दिया है क्लास का नाम. तो क्लास का नाम यहाँ पे क्या यूज़ किया है? एम्प्लॉय. ऑब्जेक्ट यू कैन सी हियर, ऑब्जेक्ट इज नथिंग बट द मैनेजर. ऑब्जेक्ट इज नथिंग बट द मैनेजर. मैनेजर ऑब्जेक्ट है, किसका है? क्लास का नाम एम्प्लॉय का है, ठीक है. लेंथ कितने एरे पास किए हैं? 3. दैट इज 0 to 2. इंडेक्स नंबर हमेशा पोजीशन स्टार्ट होती है 0 से लेके ऑनवर्ड. सो 0 to 2 तो मतलब कितने एरेज ले रहा है वो? 3 नंबर्स ऑफ एलिमेंट्स इट इज टेकिंग. सो वी कैन यूज दिस एरे व्हेन कॉलिंग अ मेंबर फंक्शंस. we can use this array when calling a member function. हम लोग member function से कॉल करते हैं. in that case we use this array. so manager is my object. उसमें हम लोगों ने वेरिएबल क्या पास किया? i इज नथिंग बट बेसिकली कितने एलिमेंट्स है? 3 एलिमेंट्स. सो 0 to 2. तो मतलब यहाँ पे मैंने क्या मेंशन किया? i डॉट पुट डेटा. पुट डेटा इज माई मेंबर फंक्शन. आई एम कॉलिंग थ्रू ऑब्जेक्ट मैनेजर i. कैसे कॉल किया जाता है? देखो ये जो सेकेंड लाइन है ये बता रही है हाउ टू कॉल एन एरे ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट. तो मैनेजर इज माई ऑब्जेक्ट, ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ क्लास एम्प्लॉय. लेकिन मैंने एरे पास किया है, तो एरे पास किया है तो कुछ तो वेरिएबल रहेगा. वो वेरिएबल का नाम क्या है? i डॉट इट विल एक्सेस और इट विल कॉल द मेंबर फंक्शन. मेंबर फंक्शन का नाम क्या है? पुट डेटा. एरे ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट इज स्टोर्ड इन मेमोरी एज एन मल्टी डायमेंशनल एरे. सो दैट्स इट. In the next lecture, we'll study about the constructor, destructor and their programming part. Thank you so much.